Welcome everybody to Broken Wing Racing League. This is the GT3 Sprint Championship. We're here at season 17, round 4 at the Red Bull Ring. It's going to be a spicy one. Um, it, as it stands right now, just looking at the times in practice, the fastest driver is Travis Deegan. Connor Burns in second. That's two rookies taking the top two steps away from the pros. Nick Mazza's in third with the fastest of the pro times. That said, they're at a 128.1 for Travis Deegan there, and then you have 128s competitively till P16. Jacob Simmons is the last in the 128s, then followed by Braden Daniels here, who is the first of the 129s. Now 129s goes all the way down from P17 to P41. So you could have a 129 and be either P17 or P41. That's how competitive this all looks. There's Tyler Bramble there, is with his new anime waifu. Actually, two of them. Jesus. Anyway, then you got Lee Winters in the 140 in 42nd with the 130. And 130 is beyond that from P42 all the way down to P49. And then you have Steve McAllister, John Balone, and Todd Buellmore, only drivers in the 131s. But, and well, actually, there's a driver that qualified under two, or he put in 2 laps, and one of his laps was, I don't know, it's a 139. He's in the pits right now. We have 55 drivers that have entered into this competition here for round 4. That is pretty staggering. That's 21 rookies, 10 AM class drivers, 13 pro-ams, and 9 pros. It is going to be something else. Oof. Get a little glimpse of someone off track there. Mark Foley. Anyway, Fish Hooks, excited to run my first Broken Wing League race tonight. The number 405 Mustang, FYI, to the broadcast. It's Ben Laughter, like giggles. Alright, Laughter. Where are you at? Ben isn't on track, but Ben is P13. There's Bryce Colsa, P14. They're new. Well, let's take a look here at the ranking sheet. Right now, Joshua Jablonski is in first in the pro category. Mark Foley is in second, and Jacob Simmons is in third. Followed by the Pro-Am class, Chris W. Stewart of Shake and Bake Racing is first over Braden Daniels, who's in second, and Alex Zier, who is in third. As it stands right now, Jake Daly is leading in practice for the Pro-Ams. Then we go over to Scott Weber, who's leading the AM class over Tyler Kern, who's in second, and Craig Carroll, who's in third. And then for the rookies, we have Travis Deegan. Oh, what is this? What is this? What's going on? I just got somebody just off. If I had to guess, it's Dylan Thomas. All right, we'll just keep it here for a little bit. He's probably going to be up to something. Now, I had to get this one correct, so let me go look at my... Travis Deegan is leading the rookies. That's Cole Palusa. Like, thank you, sir. Palusa. Okay, I got you. It is a bit foggy. Anyway, I'll take it off that. It got Daniel McElvey. Daniel McElvey, who is in second. Connor Burns is in third. Then we go over the team championships. Right now, Draft Punk Gold is in first. Carrera Azteca is in second. Team Juice in third. Bulls Hala in fourth. Thunder Thighs Racing in fifth. Draft Punk Silver in sixth. Bluth Racing in seven. Shake and Bake Racing in eight. Valhalla D's Nuts in 9. Valhalla in 10. Caffeine Global Motorsports in 11, Tachyon SimSport in 12, Paxman in 13, Acer Ace 14, E3 Motorsports 15, Valhalla Motorsports. I don't know that one. Sorry, that's Austin McGill. I don't know how to speak Danish or that's Swedish or something. Anyway, that's 16. Texas Motorsports in 17 and Valhalla Black in 18. Don't forget to say any title sponsors in the team name. Oh yeah. Team Juice is sponsored by Big Orange Juice, if you know what I mean. Yeah, 4 minutes left. It's got to be stated again. The level of close racing that we're going to get out of this is 16 drivers in the 128s. Braden Daniels, who's in 17th, he did a 129.034. Mind you, you go all the way down to 41 of Tyler Bramble, and he's also in the 129s. So from P17 to 42, we have drivers that are just out there in the 129s competitively throughout that entire tenths of a difference to each one of them. It's gonna be hundreds for some others. That's quite something. This is going to be, I mean, I will probably assume it's going to be a massacre. There's going to be some death, destruction. 3 minutes left on the clock. I'll show you. Brandon Burns made this. It is just a great tool because it shows the different categories that we're facing here. You got 2 rookies at the P1-2, and 3 through 8 is in. They're the pros. They're 1 through 6 in class. And then you have Jake Daly, Daniel Haynes. In a correction for the last race, it was actually Craig Carroll that won the AM class. Daniel Haynes is actually a Pro-Am. And so they're sitting 9, 10, and 11, and 12. And that's Joshua D. and Rodrigo Theory, 3rd and 4th. Then you have a couple other guys. 3, 4, and 5 of the rookies are 13, 14, and 15. Hey, that actually lines up perfectly. Ben Laughter, Bryce Calusa, and Adam Thomas in 15th. And then you have another pro, and then a Pro-Am, and then a pro, and a pro, and a bunch of Pro-Ams. And then you have the leader of the AMs. In 24th, Charlie Bass is in 31st. Tyler Kern has Regan Chandler separating him to P2. Some other phonetic ones that I should get out of the way. If they are here, I'll try. I don't know if they're here. I don't know if they're here. Well, Ty Dunnett. That is one driver. Charlie Bass, like the fish. He's a United States Air Force, retired after 22 years. That's pretty cool. And Rick Wishon, I thought he was here. It says a senior guy learning that pixels don't respond to yelling. That is very true. They don't. And thanks, Fish Hooks, for the follow. And 2 bits from Catsack. Cheer 1 broken. I don't know what the Cheer 1 broken thing is. All right. That's what they were doing. I don't know. Yeah, here we go. And a Red Bull livery at the Red Bull ring. Sorry, Oracle Red Bull Racing, you know what I mean? What is up with these, you gotta get the sponsors and everything. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Matt Benson that's doing the burnouts there. I think he's Pro-Am? When did that happen? I thought he was. Oh, Rick Wishon is here. Oh, there's that. 12. And we are back. 14 minutes, 28 seconds of qualifying remain. Nick Mazza is going to be the one leading us off here. He was quick in practice. We'll see if he can respond here in the qualifying session. No word on Travis Deegan and Connor Burns, by the way. They are out there. Oh, actually, no, 6 places back. The fastest 2 drivers. Travis is got a little bit of a gap to Braden Daniels, which is going to help him out. He's going to need it. Connor Burns is... he's got Braden Daniels right behind him. Look at that. There's 7 and 9. And we're about to go underway. So Trey, why didn't you want to do this race? You think it's going to be just a bowling like the Glen? I'll be curious. This corner coming up is just going to be... I mean, people are going to park it on this apex, and there's going to be 3 wide for sure. Bunch of people off. I imagine lap 1 was it turn 3 isn't going to be well. I think the people at the front are going to be fine. People further back, not so much. Anyone that's at the furthest of this extravaganza, 55 drivers registered for this, probably going to be the worst off. Unless they, react in time. Oof, a lot of debris already on track. Garbage track, and not just because it's owned by Red Bull. That's funny. I don't mind it. It proves to have some interesting racing. Look at that Mark Foley trying to just eke out everything he can here, but he's going to drop out and let some drivers by. And he did get the fastest lap there. Oh, 129.1, which we know isn't going to be the best, but it's a good start. He is in first still. Peter Flanner in second. Gage Hines third. Jeff Koffel fourth. Travis Deegan fifth. Nick Mazza sixth. Marshall Scarry 7. Chris Lamb 8. Adam Thomas 9. Joshua D 10. Forrest Holland 11. Dylan Thomas 12. Charlie Bass 16. As Daniel Mc... Oh, man. I just had this guy's name. McElvey is in 10th. Joshua D in 11. Forrest Holland 12. Eric Kunzman 13. Jagor Stecki 14. Rick Wishon in 15, Dylan Thomas 16, Matthew Zuckerberg 17, Charlie Bass 18, Ryan Chandler in 20, as Ben Laughter goes 18, Daniel Hines in 21, Brandon Langlands 22, Todd Bealmore in 23, Connor Burns 24, Brandon Burns 25, Aiden Gortz 26, Lee Winters 27, 28, as Steve McAllister goes to 29th, Felipe B. Nunez into 31st, Parks De La Cruz into 32nd, Michael Chody into 23rd, and Austin McGill has just set the fastest lap with 129.079. And that is the drivers that have set times. Daryl Carrington went across the line into 31st. Jacob Simmons hasn't set a time. Neither has Matt Benson, Rodrigo Theory, Braden Daniels, Jake Daly. All quick drivers here. And still nothing from them. Travis Deegan just now sets the fastest lap with 128.7. Chris Lambeth now up into 7th with that time across the board. 129.5. Joshua D now into 6th. Gage Hines is in 5th for the moment, but he parked it and he's in the pits. I'm not sure if he's going to hold on to that one. Rodrigo Theory in 9th. Charlie Bass in 10th. Also improved for both those drivers. Dylan Thomas improved into 11th. And Dana McElvey in 8th. Eric Kunzman in 10th. Jackson Sherlock in 11th. Brandon Burns improves into 17th. Matthew Zuckerberg improves into 18th. Daniel Hines into second. Improved lap out of him. Still Aiden Gwertz into 20th. Mark Sherman into 42nd. Ooh, had a spin there. Steve McAllister into 39th. John Balone into 40th. Michael Chody improves into 41st. Andrew Andrew Fagan into, I lost him. Into 23rd. He improved again. Lee Winters in 38th. Daniel Carrington now improves into 36th. Connor Burns was second in practice. Still in the 37th at the moment. No time out of Jacob Simmons, Matt Benson, Braden Daniels, Jake Daly still. That's rather bizarre. Braden Daniels improves into 8th. Connor Burns now improves into 9th. Travis Deegan in 1st. I don't think that was a faster lap there, but Chris Schitterling into 2nd. Mark Foley into 3rd. Nick Mazza improved into 5th. Jeff Koffold into 8th. Dylan Thomas improves into 15th with a 129.5. It's going to be pretty sweaty there. Regan Chandler into 19th. Aiden Gwertz into 26. Tyler Kern into 27. I think Brandon Burns improved into 24th there. Forrest Hahn in 23rd. Elliot Burton into 13th with his 129.4. Parks De La Cruz did improve at some point. Lee Winters improved into 34th, I mean. Felipe B. Nunez into 29th. There was a shocker at somewhere. Adam Thomas into 32nd. Andrew Frank into 33rd. Brandon Langled's 34. Lee Winters 35. Ryan Chandler into 36. Tom Smith improves into 38th. Craig Carroll into 37th at the moment. John Balone improves into 40th. Ben Laughter into 42nd. Also a driver that was in the top 15 at the start. Daniel Carrington in practice. Daniel Carrington improves into 43rd. Kyle Strauss into 46. Oliver Brooks into 47. Theo Nolasco into 49. Still no time. 4 laps out of it for Jacob Simmons, Matt Benson, Jake Daly, and Bryce Calusa, and Tyler Bramble. Marshall Scarry into 17th. Matt Benson goes into 15th with that time across the board. Jeff Koffold has improved into 2nd. Nick Mazza improved into 4th. Jacob Simmons into 8th with that time across the board. Rick Wishon into 16th, improved lap for him. Daniel McElvey into 17th with an improved lap. Drops down to 18th as Brandon Burns improves into 16th with his time across the board. Tyler Bramble now into 34th as he finally sets a lap. Parks De La Cruz into 28th as he improves off his last lap. Lee Winters improves into 39th. Felipe B. Nunez improves into 34th. Greg Reese only has gone out for 2 laps. Theo Nolasco improves into 49th. And Bryce Calusa improves into 13th. The time across the board. Already lost it. Daryl Carrington improves into 44th. Craig Reese has not set a time. This is 3rd lap out there. We will get back to him. Mark Foley. That was a 128.3. 128.2 is what to beat. And Travis Deegan is not actually still out there on track. So he is holding at the pits. Adam Thomas improves into 15th. Dylan Thomas improves into 9th. Danny McElvey improves into 15th. Eric Koonsman improves into 16th. Tyler Kearns improves into 17th. All low 129s. Andrew Frank improves into 35th. Elliot Burton improves into 15th with his time across the board. And we have a driver who's just exiting track there. John Balone. Austin McGill takes the fastest lap. 128. Whoa! It is exactly the same. Bryce Calusa into 9th. Austin McGill and Travis Deegan are separated by 0. Nothing. 0.000. It's the same identical time. Fascinating. It says he did a 128.217 on one overlay, but the other one is saying that he had the identical lap. So I guess maybe iOverlay is a little bit more precise than the other software, maybe. It'd be interesting to see how that's all scored, because they have it down to even further decibel places on after the race is over. Rodrigo Theory improves into 11th. Dylan Thomas improves into 8th. Daniel McElvey improves into 12th. Improvement from Regan Chandler into 19th. And Craig Reese hasn't set a time on the board, and he's in 52nd at the moment. Now we have 56 drivers if Kyle Poffenberger shows up. I'm pretty sure I said everyone's names. No improvement for Matt Benson on his last. Aiden Gwertz improved into 11th at that time, 128.8. Everyone really on an improved lap. Is Jeff going to improve here? He did 128.3. No, this won't be it for him. Mark Foley across the line. Also not an improvement for him. Still got a ways to go. Oh, nope, no we don't. Gonna look like another corner. Marshall Scary improves into 14th. Not a valid lap for Dylan Thomas. Eric Koonsman improves into 19th. Rick Wishon into 22nd. Andrew Korostecki improves into 32nd. Time across the board. Chris Chitterling did improve, and it got him to P7. There's Gage Heinz has now just gone across the board with a 128.7. Couple of Lambos out there. That's interesting. Don't see that too often. So there's 15 drivers in the 128s. Chris Lambeth has just gone across the line into P15. Chris Cheerling improves into 6th. Marshall Scary, not an improved lap there. Joshua D improves into 8th, being the fastest of the Pro-Ams for himself right now. Daniel McElvey improve here. He does not. Ways to go for some of these drivers. Man, can I pick anyone that's crossing the line right now? Gage Heinz has just crossed the line, improved into P8. And Austin McGill is the lead driver at 11 seconds left. This will be pretty much it for almost everybody. 129s. There's now 70 drivers that got to the 128s. Now P18 is in the 129s. P18 all the way down to P41, just almost similar to practice. Drivers that could be in the 129s and still be in the 40s, 41 to be exact. But man, that's gonna hit. Every other driver was in the 130s with only 3 exceptions that were in the 131s. So even at the back of the field, it's still going to be pretty spicy, to say the least. Who is left? Charlie Bass. Did not improve on that lap. It will be Gage Hines. Driver is off over there. Everyone else is calling it quits. Kyle Strauss ahead. Matthew Zuckerman did improve into 35th with that time across the board. And Gage is set. Kyle Strauss improves. No, he doesn't, unfortunately. Parks De La Cruz has parked it. And there you have it, folks. Taking an ad break. Austin McGill P1, Travis Deegan 2nd, Jeff Koppel 3rd, Mark Foley 4th, Peter Flander 5th, Chris Sherling 6th, Nick Mazza 7, Gage Hines 8, Joshua D 9, Aiden Gwertz 10, Dylan Thomas 11, Jacob Simmons 12, Bryce Calusa 13, Rodrigo Theory 14, Daniel McElvey 15, Chris Lambert 16, Marshall Scary 17, Connor Burns 18, Daniel Haynes 19, Eric Kunzman 20, Adam Thomas 21, Elliot Burton 22, Andrew Korstecki 23, Matt Benson 24, Regan Chandler 25, Jackson Shalak in 26, Rick Wishon in 27, Tyler Kern 28, Braden Daniels 29, Brandon Burns 30, Jake Daly 31, Craig Reese 32, Charlie Bass 33, Forrest Hahn 34, Matthew Zuckerman 35, Parks De La Cruz 36, Craig Carroll 37, Ryan Chandler 38, Andrew Frank 39, Michael Chody in 40, Felipe Nunez 41, Tyler Bramble 42, Tom Smith 43, Andrew Fagan in 44, Lee Winters 45, Brandon Laughter 46, Brandon Langlands 47, Theo Nolasco 48, Daryl Carrington 49, Kyle Strauss 50, Stephen McAllister 51, John Balone 52, Todd Bealmore 53, Oliver Brooks 54, Mark Sherman 55, Kyle Hoffenberger 57, I think it's 56. That one's odd. Well, if Kyle shows up, he's 56, not 57. But maybe someone dropped. Ooh. That is a lot of drivers. Now, let's take a look here. Some of the artwork. Still waiting for people to grid. Probably best that we do a full out lap on this one, I'm going to be honest. Old tires and whatnot. Parks De La Cruz is ready to go. I don't think everyone else is that happy. And we are about to go underway, I'm sure, in just a second. And Mark Sherman, the Cookie Monster. Gonna be the last one. I don't have any predictions. Beyond the one I already set, there's going to be some mayhem in turn 3. And funny enough, I don't even think we have the safety car running at the moment, but if we did, it wouldn't even count for the carnage that is going to occur right here at turn 3. Kind of silly because that slight kink counts as a corner. It's a long line different camera angles brought to you by Mark Foley. Over under 5 cars dead at lap. That's a nasty looking corner. I'm going to say over. I'm going to say there's going to be over 5 cars in the pits by the end of lap 1. But more so, I would give it turn 3. We have 21... Sorry, we have 23 drivers, if they're out there. Well, one of them, I don't know if he didn't grid up, so yeah, so it's 22 rookies, 11 AM class drivers, 13 Pro-Ams, and 9 pros at this race. Austin McGill and Travis Deegan separated by 0.000 or 0.001, whichever one you want to believe. And he has got the inside line here into turn 1. How is this going to play out as we are about to go green? Where's that flag? And they're already off. Guy sucks at waving a flag. Austin McGill already covered it off. Travis Deegan now has to worry about Jeff Koffold, who's on the outside, and Mark Foley as well. They go too wide, but keep it pretty smooth. Everyone else, no, it is not smooth. There's people dying into turn 1. Holy. All right, couple more. And it is savagery at the back of the pack, but they seem to figured it out into turn 3. And Mark Foley sends it down the inside line and overtakes 2 drivers for 1. And he's not going to have that for long, as Travis Deegan is now going to go side by side with him into the next corner. Definitely a ambitious move into turn 1 for some drivers. And Mark Foley, I think he kind of slightly tapped the back of Travis Deegan, but he still has 1 spot gained over Jeff Koffold. Chris Chitterling also gained 1 off of Peter Flanner. And further back, everything's still smooth for the moment. Daniel McElvey and Jackson Schlock are battling it out here for P20, and it looks like it's going to Daniel McElvey. And it's who's going to be braver on the brakes there, and it looks like Daniel McElvey capitalizes at the moment. Charlie Bass has moved up 6 spots since the start of this race. Further back, you have Ryan Chandler, who's missing a front. Oof, that's unfortunate. Up closer up here, we have another driver missing, and I think that's Tom Smith. Rodrigo Theory lost a couple spots there. He's now in P16. That does not make sense. And we got some drivers going into the pits. Nick Mazza and Gage Hines battling it out here. Is it going to go to Nick Mazza retaking P7? Or Gage Hines down the inside line into turn 3 we go. And it looks like he's got a little bit more ambition. And there's a chop off there. I think he's got it. Aiden Gortz was in the background there, maybe trying to make a move, but he wasn't able to. And for these drivers, it looks like they are doing just fine. Jacob Simmons makes up a spot that he lost on Joshua D, or actually somebody else. Joshua D is just down a couple. Aiden Gortz is leading the Pro-Ams over Dylan Thomas, who's just behind him, not half a second away. Further back in P21 and P22, Chris Lameth and Matt Benson. Whoa, you see that car off on the side? I think that's Parks de la Cruz. I know my liveries. And did he lose it all on his own? Yes, he did. Unfortunate. Steve McAllister up 8 spots. Great job for him. Connor Burns was on the receiving end of a turn 1 incident off the opening lap. So he is down 23. Now 24 was now 23. It's unfortunate how it goes sometimes. Adam Thomas and Eric Koonsman. Adam Thomas is in the McLaren in the middle there. He's got Daniel McElvey right behind him, 3/10, but he's got Eric Koonsman 2/10 on it. So this is a pretty close battle with 3 of these drivers. But he looks like he's more planted in sticking with Eric Koonsman over Daniel McElvey, who isn't really gaining anything just yet. Matt Benson. All right. It looks like he just lost a couple spots. Not sure what that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just counting. And Rick Wishon. Oh no. Oh, he just oh no. That's a brutal one. That is also a meatball. R.I.P. to Rick Wishon. That's not how you want to end it. The race there. So we had over 5, I would say, if I had to guess just based on disastrous amount of spots lost. There's at least 5. There's 6 actually. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? There's a lot that lost a lot, I'll say that. I mean, it was going to happen, but it didn't happen in turn 3 like I thought it was. The 10th of the grid. It actually happened, I think, into turn... I think it happened in turn 1 for most of them. I thought it was going to happen in turn 3. Michael Chody's trying to make a move here on Brandon Langlands, and he hasn't been able to solidify this one just yet as they're going side by side here. Brandon Langlands in... Brandon Langlands is in that Mustang. Michael Chody's in the Ferrari, and he gets on through, and now he's got a battle here with Kyle Strauss as Connor Burns goes up in the inside and overtakes Brandon Langlands, but not Kyle Strauss, who's in that Oracle Red Bull Racing livery. There you go. Sponsors and all. Oh, and there's the blinker. Further back, I'm not sure who that is. All right, here we go. Oh, these guys are all lap traffic. Blue flags. Not really going to move out of the way, I don't think. They're trying to make a move. Lee Winters is actually going to be able to get by Daryl Carrington because he can't get past the blue flag drivers at the moment. Dives to the inside and overtakes Lee Winters again. Oh! For a moment, parked it on the apex, though, and Lee Winters gets on through. Further up, Gage Hines, no improvements. Just qualified P8. He's still P8. Same with Nick Mazza. Pace is pretty strong here. Nick Mazza was on a personal improvement there on that last lap. Let's see if he's able to show another improvement this lap as Gage Hines not on a personal best from that last one. Across the line he goes. Improved lap for him. Not so much for Nick Mazza. Further back here, you have Bryce Calusa sitting behind the... what's their team name again? They're not Thunder Thighs Racing, are they? Oh, they still are Thunder Thighs Racing. There's 2 of them. Jacob Simmons is the one under threat as he's going onto the defensive end here on Bryce Calusa. Joshua D in the background. Thinking, what can he do? Nothing for the moment, as these 2 are working out some solid strategy. Team effort to keep one guy behind. Another defensive move for Jacob Simmons. And he's keeping it. Jake Daly trying to outmaneuver Rodrigo Theory on the outside. And unable to do so at the moment on... Back at the top of the grid here, we have Austin McGill, not fully out of the woods here. He's got a 3/10 gap here to Travis Deegan, who's leading the rookies. And this is the most interesting fact about the rookies at the moment. Travis Deegan's P2 in the overall, P1 in class. Bryce Calusa, who's battling behind Jacob Simmons, he's second. And then Adam Thomas, down in 17, and he's in 12th overall. Adam Thomas is in 17, and he's third for the rookies. Everyone's found their little groups. I think the biggest one of all is going to be the Dylan Thomas train, because it goes and goes and goes. You see all of those drivers are still within a couple tenths of each other, and it just keeps going like that. You got Elliot Burton, who's trying to make a move here on Daniel Haynes, and I think he's got it done. And on exit, it is not quite over, but you can see this little wrapping of a group, and they're side by side in a little bit of contact maybe, and that he hit Chris Lambeth. Now he's holding, and because, oh no, he's trying to back up, and I think he's got it out of the way there. Whoa, that one was rough. Oh man, that was actually Eric Koonsman, I think. Almost certain it might have been Eric Koonsman. Yep, it was. It wasn't Chris Lambeth. He was already had. That gave him a meatball. And that is unfortunate, but nothing more you can do out of that one. That didn't really even shake up this little group. You can see they're still all together. The biggest gap there is Joshua D to Marshall Scarry, which is a full second. But beyond that, this is what we got. Bryce Calusa trying to still make a move here on Jacob Simmons, but make no mistake, I think he's a double champ or a triple champ. I can't remember. I think he might be a triple champ, but I know he's a double champ. Jacob Simmons using his talents at the moment and staying ahead. You go further back, Brandon Langlands, who's up 10 spots. Kyle Strauss up 12. And then further back, Ben Laughter. He's down a couple. And this is another kind of impressive group, because all these guys are all still within seconds of each other, and they're all hanging out. No one's fully alone in this race. Parks Taylor Cruz has Regan Chandler 2/10. Like I said, 50 and 51 here, and they're just under threat, and I think that's Andrew Frank off a little bit. Oliver Brooks and Todd Buellmore up 14 spots, 39th and 40th here for them. And not sure if either one's gonna... Oh! He's gonna make a move. And they're gonna take this too wide. Ugh. Wonder how this is gonna all work out. It's quite tight. And I think Oliver Brooks makes the move and sticks it. Daryl Carrington also made a move, and he's up into 42nd, as well as Theo Nolasco. Oh! That was Steve McAllister there, and he lost that spot. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Oh, I think Steve hit him. He's still out there. He's still 4 spots up. He's shucking and jiving right now. I think it's still up for debate there. Let's take a look at the AM class. We haven't seen them for a bit. I guess I said not everyone's alone. These two drivers aren't alone. They're teammates. Draft Punk Silver. He's 22nd and 23rd, both in the Mercedes. AMG Petronas, you know, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Tyler Kern leads in 22nd. Craig Reese is 25th in the overall. And then Forrest Hahn is 26th. So the battle for second is still really on for the AM class, but we're pretty much said and done. Some other classes, let's say the rookies, for example. Here's another prime defense move going under Joshua D on the full outside, and he's going to overtake Bryce Calusa. Yes, he does. That's got to be very frustrating. You're trying to make a move on one driver, and then you end up back in the same qualifying spot as Joshua D. Looks to retake one of his spots that he lost off the opening, and now he's ahead of Bryce Calusa. Braden Burns up 10, Jackson Sherlock up 7, Porsche in front, and then Braden Daniels up 8. P9 is where we get Aiden here, who's kind of fallen slightly off on Gage Hines. And Nick Mazza, Gage Hines, still no change in that little group. Is it going to be lap traffic? Mark Sherman is popping right up. And they both let him by. And I think he's going to let... Great job there for blue flags. Still no change in the order for these two. But Aiden Gwertz here is leading by 4.6 seconds to Dylan Thomas for the Pro-Am Championship. Still nothing. These two have been battling for a while. What can we say about the pros? There's one in first and one in third, as the rookie's leader is in second. I think with the bigger grids that we have now, we're not going to see the a top 15 finish for all four categories like we have been seeing sometimes. But it is pretty spicy at the moment. Rodrigo Theory has caught up closer to his teammate. And this group is still... Oh, Brandon Burns trying to make a move here on Jackson Chillock. On the outside. Vols Holla. And he did get the move done. Braden Daniels, maybe he's thinking he could try. And it's not done. All right. Everything's still pretty clean. But just a brief... I just had it. All right. Let's take a look here at the replay. So people parked it. And, okay, so we did get some crashes here. But that wasn't the one that started it. It was Regan Chandler gets hit from behind. Already drivers off. Andrew Korostecki gets hit from behind. A little bit, some damage there. And then just cascading effects of drivers getting hit. But then Andrew Fagan, it's on the outside. And he gets flipped in, hooked. Craig Carroll in the middle. Not much he can do, I don't think. That's just Ben Laughter. Then gets hit. Lee Winters on the outside. He parks it slightly, but I think somehow... Nope. He just parks it. So some drivers just park it, just not getting any further damage there. And then Andrew Fagan doesn't even have a rear wing. Rodrigo Theory spins it, but keeps it out of the barrier. And then later, That's what happened. He just tried to take the long way around, so he lost a bunch of positions there. And then Andrew still trying to make it back to the pits. And looks so naked without that rear. You know what I mean? Park Santa Cruz on lap 2. Matt Benson on lap 3. All on his own. Charlie Bass also lost it right after Matt Benson. Rick Wishon, he did see this one. Almost in action. Unfortunate for him. And Elliot Burton. Now this one I'm curious about. Let's get a chopper cam. Did they get together? I think so. It's terrible chopper cam, but I think that's what it was. Andrew Frank taking the long way around. And Steve McAllister, I think that one's pretty cut and dry. I think he just rear-ended the guy. Daryl Carrington was doing really well. And Braden Daniels. Oof. That's unfortunate. Oh, the Red Bull livery. Oh, no. It was Brandon Langland's. He spins. It's Kyle Strauss. And back to live. I mean, that was basically live. That last one was on lap 14. That just happened somewhere else on track. Look at these drivers. Bryce Calusa, first race with us. I mean, putting in a strong effort here. And he's just got under thighs in front of him. And they're making their thighs really, really thick. And Joshua D. already going into the pits. So we'll see how that turns out. Oof. I think they made a little bit of contact here. These Mustangs aren't going to let it go. They're going side by side into turn 3. And the battle for the lead. And it looks like it's got a better run there for Travis Deegan as he gets by Austin McGill. Mark Foley now joining the fight. 3/10 away. It's the only one that's having a slightly boring race. There might be Jeff Koffold, who is sitting in 4th at the moment. No Valhalla livery for him, but at least he's got the accents on, so that's all you can say about that. Adam Thomas is sitting 3rd in class. He's got Bryce Calusa just ahead of him, who's in P12, P14, so still some stuff up grabs there. I think Dylan Thomas and Aiden Gwirtz is a little different. Aiden's in 8th, Dylan Thomas is in 10th, but there's a 5.8 second gap there. Marshall Scari trying to make a move here, and he gets through on Bryce Calusa. And so does Adam Thomas, maybe? The battle for 2nd? No. He's going into the pits. Oh, Daryl's... and he's letting him by. Alright, Joshua D. He was the first of the drivers to go in the pits. And he's 26th at the moment. His group he was with was Jacob Simmons, who's in 11th. See how that turns out for him. Tyler Bramble. Oh, no. Is that what I think it is? Trey, it's your favorite. That is a waifu. Hard to spot. But that is one. Charlie Bass is 3/10 back. Oh, and is that a guy? I don't know. That might be a dude. I don't know. I can't tell from this angle. Charlie Bass making the move on the inside in turn 1. Doesn't work out for him right there. Maybe he'll try again. 1.9 seconds away from being lapped by the leaders. These two are battling as well. Oliver Brooks in the middle. Eric Koonsman just 4/10 up. Lee Winters 4/10 back. Reagan Chandler is lap traffic at the moment. What happened here? Oh. How'd that mess it? Well, Matt Benson's already... So... Matt Benson's... Oh, he makes contact with Daryl Carrington. And that gives him a meatball. And now he's trying to limp it back when Forrest Holland and him connect right there. That sends Forrest Holland off. Yoicks. Not ideal. Been a lot of incidents already, and we still have under half a race left. What is... I'll say one thing. Things have changed slightly. All those grouped up packs have kind of gone away. There's only like 3 or 4 here. Just Lambeth in the pits. John Balone off there. This is a group of 4. Joshua D. All right, Adam Thomas pit 2 laps ago. Same with Joshua D. was 3 laps ago. Daniel Haynes 3 laps ago. And Adam Thomas makes a move there on Andrew Frank. Andrew Frank hasn't pit yet. It is battles up for grabs, but then Joshua D now needs to get by. And can he do so before Daniel Haynes? Daniel Haynes going to the inside here, and I think it's going to make the move on Joshua D before these two are going to slow each other up, and Andrew Frank's going to get a little bit of a breather here. Joshua D is back through. He's keeping it ahead of Daniel Haynes for the moment. And Rodrigo. This spun a bit. Alright, Austin McGill is 13th at the moment. He pit. Everyone ahead of him has not pit. Everyone behind him mostly hasn't pit. It depends. There's a couple. Aiden Gwertz is 17th, and he has pit. He's going to make up some spots here. It's all going to come down to what happens with Travis Deegan. He's got lap traffic. Everyone ahead of him is lap traffic. And Forrest Holland gets by. Now Steve McAllister is going to be the one that has to facilitate this as well. Mark Foley, maybe not having to deal with this, but still... Oh, he's going into the pits now, but he's going to be awfully slow going into the pits. Mark Foley splitting the gap here. I think they're racing him slightly. No, not really. Okay, they let him by. It's all going to come down to Austin McGill. Where is he at on... And he is almost to the penultimate corner here. Travis Deegan still in the pits. Now he's exiting. And is he going to get to turn 1 or the exit before Jeff is? And it looks like Jeff is actually right behind, 1.4 seconds back. It is not enough. A 31.9. Austin McGill did a 32.6. Go Matt B. Yeah. Having a rough break of it. He's in 13 positions down. He got hit by lap traffic. Well, he hit lap traffic, but I mean, lap traffic was moving, and it should have. It's right here, actually. Unfortunate. And this battle still rages on. These two go side by side. Daniel Haynes is ahead. Now you got all these drivers who have not pit from Q1 21. You have Mark Foley staying out long. Chris Chitterling staying out long. Jacob Simmons is out long. Jeff Caulfield is coming out. Travis Deegan is moving through and is already through the apex as they get up to speed. Jeff now 9/10 away from Austin McGill. Peter Flanner also joining the fight as well. Nick Mazza further back, 1.8 seconds. And 8th, H. Heinz, and Heinz has now lost actually a spot. Aiden Gwertz is leading the Pro-Ams in 10th moment. Bryce Calusa and Adam Thomas are square in the battle for P2 in the rookies, but also in 11th. Bryce Calusa is ahead of Adam Thomas for the moment, but they are about to go side by side again. Incoming Foley overcut. It's possible. Anything's possible. I mean, if he just has a... Oh, they're still going side by side. It is not all said and done. You know, Bryce Calusa, for a first race here, has been very, very clean and showing some space, but also getting stuck with some of these really, really good drivers that are battling him out and making sure he can't make moves. But he did make that move on Adam Thomas, but Adam Thomas looks like they're trying to make something happen. And he's still ahead. Mark Foley is out ahead of Travis Deegan with a 1.6 second gap. The Foley overcut did work. Unfortunate for Jacob Simmons. Or fortunate? Unfortunate? I mean, he's down 3 where he started. Daniel Haynes is ahead of him. Dylan Thomas was already ahead of him. When he came out, not much... I mean, he's still ahead of Joshua D, so he's just lost only 1 spot, I think, technically. But, ooh, you got lap traffic for Travis Deegan, and I mean, look at that, a 29.3 to a 31.9. Only reason why Austin McGill didn't work out for his undercut is because he put on a little bit extra, a 32.6. If he did a 31.1, I think he would have been right there in the running. A 2-second overcut is crazy. I mean, and Austin McGill, what happened here? Oh no, Lee Winters was already going into the barrier, but Austin McGill made contact with him, and that gave him a black flag, and that actually made him leave. Austin McGill is out of this race over that incident. Troubling stuff. Yeah. You hate to see it. You're battling for P1. And now you have a black flag because of an incident. The blue flag. No bueno. There is no bueno. Jacob Simmons now back on track. He's now P12 again. Daniel Haynes is still ahead of him, but Marshall Scari is the driver he's battling here in the Ferrari. And he gets through on Marshall Scari. Drivers that are still close together. Todd Buellmore, Oliver Brooks in the middle there with the Lambo. Brendan Langland's in the Mystery Machine. And still nothing. Andrew Frank up 13 spots from where he started. Through goes Elliot Burton. Maybe? Getting the power down. He's still ahead for P25. And he is fully through. And Jacob Simmons has just spun. Nice pirouette. Almost. Unfortunate. He's back out on track, though. He's in P17. Only 5 spots lost off of that one. Travis Deegan is now level with Mark Foley. And it's just gone on by. It's literally said 3/10, but then when I click to it, we are live. I'm not sure. That's crazy. He's retaken P1. Look at the difference in lap 2. Mark Foley did a 130.3. Travis Deegan did 128.8. That was just the last lap. Have we had a rookie win the race before? Over the Pro-Am? Or the pros? I think we have. Ryan Otis? It was Ryan Otis. Yeah. Stickers. Yeah, I was just thinking. And then there was another guy that was close to doing it, but I think he crashed out like towards the end of the race. Sorry to see you in chat there, Austin McGill. You're having a great race. And it's all foiled by a Lamborghini. Of all things, a Lamborghini. And he's kind of just cutting away. 1.1 gap already to Mark Foley. What happened to Jeff Koffel, by the way? He's towing. Couldn't catch a break with turn 3 really. Yeah, I mean... makes sense. Daniel Haynes trying to make a move here on Dylan Thomas. It's the leading car. As we have some driver off. We'll see. That's Oliver Brooks, but is probably making his way. Not so bad. Jeff hit the back of my car in that incident. Oh, really? I didn't even notice. Alright, well, let's take a look here. Oh. That Meatball Jeff? Or just gave him a ton of damage? Okay. Oh, he does hit you. But then Jeff looks fine. Or is he fine? No. Oh, no, he's got something. I see. He was the one that also towed. Fortune there for John. Ooh, dang. Is that wing made of, like, vibranium? That thing just, that thing cooked. I didn't even... unfortunate there for Alex. Sorry. Who was that? Oliver. Okay, back to live. 5 laps left to go. Oof. Wonder how many incidents there are. It won't count all of them. It won't show like, how many exist. Dang it. In total, it doesn't, but there's a lot. There's a lot of red. This is going to be Joshua D here on Marshall Scari. P12. Not there quite yet. I will use this this graphic for a little bit. Let me know what you guys think. This is Mark Foley's unique angles. I'm gonna use it earlier, but there was too much battling happening, and right now there is a battle technically happening. It's Dylan Thomas who's leading in 10th over these other drivers just behind, all the way up to 14th. Why isn't Trey racing? I thought he loved RBR. You'd assume that, yeah. Peter Flanner is now in the pit lane and has dropped from P3 to P7 to P8, and onward he goes. He didn't have enough fuel to the end, I don't think, as these drivers are about to find him back out on track, and that is 2 pit stops for Peter Flanner. Lost my drive when MasterCard took over McLaren. Yeah. Peter Flanner's now in the mix. Dylan Thomas still leading this little gaggle of cars, and he's slotted in between Marshall Scari and Joshua D. Ruins the purity of the drive, man. It really does. Sponsors slap their name on a... Can you imagine if Ferrari changed their name? If it was, God, what's a popular Ferrari thing? Not an Italian thing. What's that noodle company called? That noodle company should just partner with Ferrari so they could be the noodle company Ferrari Formula One team. The Scuderia John Deere. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, them being a tractor is applicable. That is an impressive amount of drivers that are still in it together to the end. 3 laps to go. And that is P9 to P14, all still pretty much together. There's a couple of other drivers that are within shooting distance of each other. But beyond that, no, everyone else is kind of in no man's land, with the exception of Gage Heinz kind of chasing down P4, Nick Mazza, 4/10ths difference. Battle for side-by-side, and Peter Flanner trying to make an overtake. On Marshall Scari for P5 in class, and he does so, and Marshall Scari loses 1 spot. We have also 48 drivers that are still out there on track. 49 drivers still out there on track. So we had 55 that race, and 49 are still out there. The rest have called it. Your earliest retirement was 16 laps ago. Gage Heinz has now received. I'm not on track anymore. Oh no! When you drop into the pits, it doesn't show you that you're anything. I'm saying drivers that still have speed. We're registering speed. I think Craig Carroll's the only one that has now gone in the pits, but he's actually back out. So that's now 40. Actually, it's 48 because Regan Chandler is still is parked it as well. That's unfortunate. What happened here with Gage Heinz has a black flag. It's probably just Tracklands. I'm gonna assume. Probably right here too. There's one. Yeah, that's probably gonna be it. Or there. What? Maybe. I think he can run that far. Well, he's got a black flag, so P5 is no longer in the bag. In class, that would have been P4, but no more. 2 laps left to go. Surprised we haven't seen more. Daniels dives to the inside on Tyler Kern, and I don't think it's going to work for him. He shoots wide, and now he's going to have to battle side by side with Tyler Kern. Oh! He's nabbed the inside on Tyler Kern and is staying with it. P19 goes to Braden. That also was the lead. The leader, Tyler Kern, is leading in 20th for the AM class. Elliott Burton has already made swift work. Now almost regained everything back. He's now down 1 spot from where he started this race. He can stay past Jackson Schlock here into the final corner. And he's going to go side by side as they wave the white flag. Oh, somebody just parked it over there. Still up for debate if that's going to end, but this is going to end here for Travis Deegan putting on a clinic of speed. This driver takes the victory, a rookie, P1. Mark Foley, P2. First in class, Chris Chitterling, P3 over Nick Mazza, who is finishing in P4. Aiden Gwirtz, the leader of the Pro-Ams, in 5th. Bryce Calusa, P6 for him. Gage Heinz across the line. Who's it going to be? There's a lot of drivers that are close. It's going to be Gage Heinz in 7, Adam Thomas in 8, Dylan Thomas in 9, Daniel Haynes in 9, Peter Flanner in 10, Nick Dalen Thomas in 11. I don't know. It's Marshall Scary 12, Joshua D 13, Danny McElvey 14, Chris Lambeth in 15, Brandon Burns 16, Jacob Simmons 17, Jake Daly 18, Braden Daniels 19, Tyler Kern 20, Jackson Schlock 21. I honestly don't know. They all crossed the line at the same time, and now it says Daniel Haynes is 9, Peter Flander 10, Dylan Thomas 11, Jackson Schlock in 21. Elliott Burton has a black flag. He's not going to stay 22. Connor Burns, Andrew Frank 23, Connor Burns 24, Eric Kunzman 25, Felipe Bay Nunez in 26, Craig Reese 27, Forrest Holland 28, Tyler Bramble 29, Matt Benson 30, Matthew Zuckerman 31, and Todd Beelmore 32, Brandon Langlands 33, Ryan Chandler 34, Theo Nolasco in 35, Rick Wishon 36, Oliver Brooks 37, Steve McAllister 38, Ben Laughter 39, Andrew Skorosecki 40, Lee Winters 41, Park Sailor Cruz 42, Kyle Strauss 43, Tom Smith 44, Mark Sherman 45, John Balone 46, Reagan Chandler 47, Craig Carroll 48, Daryl Carrington 49, Charlie Bass 50, Austin McGill 51, Jeff Koffold 52, Michael Chody 53, Rodrigo Theory 54, Andrew Fagan in 55. And that is it for those drivers Um, Congratulations, Mark Foley, P2 in the overall, P1 in class. I mean, you're the top step pro there. So how did that work out for you? I mean, you also had um you had a really great overcut that actually seemingly seemed to work, but then what happened? Did Travis just have the pace over you?
I think, yeah, he was quicker overall, definitely a couple of tenths a lap. I could keep with him if I was in his draft and I was really focused, but kind of the same thing happened at Sebring where I came out of the pits and the car just felt very different, especially the rear end. I was like sliding a lot, and I think on my outlap, on my second outlap, I had the biggest moment in like turn 8 and 9, and I really thought I was going to put it in the wall. So I lost, like, I came out with a 2 second buffer, and I pretty much lost it there. And then I had another big moment coming out of turn 3, the little hairpin, and then I just decided to chill out and cruise home to the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely one of those scenarios that were, yeah. I mean, if you're having that, how did it go with the other drivers? Did you kind of notice what happened with the pros that were also up at the top? That kind of, when you say what happened with Austin and everything.
No, I didn't see any of that. I know Jeff and Austin disconnected, but I have no idea um, what happened to them.
Yes, final corner. Somebody, they hit somebody, but it was the other guy was losing control, and it just kind of collapsed both drivers. But I mean, hey, you had that awesome overcut. It seemed to work out for you. I mean, Chris Shearling was a little bit further behind on you, so congrats and thanks for joining me. And I mean, again, hey, P1 in class after your flu game last week is pretty impressive.
Yeah, right, I've never gone back to back before, so that's cool.
Congrats, thanks,
All right,
Mark.
cheers,
Mhm.
Jason. Bye bye.
Aiden Gwertz. I don't even know if I'm ever saying your name right there, by the way. I've never seen you before, but Aiden, thanks for joining me. Congratulations for the Pro-Am win. You're fifth overall, first in class. I mean, you had some pretty solid pace. I mean, you were always at the back of a little group and you kind of just stuck there. I mean, I can't remember who exactly who it was. Was it Jacob Simmons or Gage Heinz or someone else? You just had two drivers that you were with for most of the race. Did you just find pace with them?
Yeah, I found a lot of pace with them. I wanted to stay as close to them as possible to keep up as much pace, and it worked. And then on top of that, I usually overfill my car, which seemed to work out at the end there, jumping, I think, 2 positions,
Yeah,
which was pretty nice.
fantastic, especially with the two of those pros that actually ended up dropping down the order there for you. I mean, it all kind of played up for you. Like just a fantastic result. You're up 5 spots from where you started. Was at any point did it feel like it was just a lot? I mean, just with this opening lap, a lot of people had some incidents. It didn't happen towards the front of the grid, but towards the back, it was a little bit more chaotic.
Oh, it was pretty tense, definitely. It looked like something happened right behind me, which was a little scary, but I was able to avoid all of it and to keep it clean. Was able to keep it clean all the way till the end of the race, so I could keep pushing. I could take off tracks and everything,
Yeah, I mean,
which was pretty nice.
it did work out for you. I was seeing every time I was looking at a pack, you were right there at the end of that pack, just following suit. It worked out. You P1. I mean, the next guy in class was P9, so you had a great buffer from that anyway. So I don't think you really had to worry about the challenge for the pro-ams. But congratulations on the win. Thanks for joining me,
Yes, thank you. And it's Gertz, if you want to
Gertz.
pronounce it
Oh,
correctly.
Gertz
I
from now
couldn't
on.
care less.
All right, Aiden Gertz. I got it. Thank you for joining
All
me,
right,
man.
thank you. Thank you.
And Tyler Kern, not to be left out, P20 in the overall P1 in class. I mean, what a result for yourself. You're battling Braden Daniels at the end. And I know he got the best on you on that one, but what a result for yourself. I mean, you still came up above some of the other pro-ams. I mean, just a huge list of drivers. I mean, yes, there were some disconnects, but I mean, overall, how was that race for you? I mean, you had Rodrigo Theory, your teammate, with you for I think half the race, but then he spun, and then I did he just call it after that?
Yeah, it was just kind of a tough race for him. So he ended up having to disconnect. It just I don't think it was his day. But yeah, it was good. It felt good to get another win. I practiced a lot this week, so it felt good to have it pay off, and I was able to avoid most of the carnage around, and I missed the big spin on lap 1, so that it was good. It was a good race for me.
Yeah, great race. As far as that goes, how did the opening lap go for you? Because I mean, there was so much happening. Were you just being truly cognizant there?
Yeah, it was just kind of like survival for the first lap. There's just so many cars. It's a tight track, and the turn 1 is tough with it being 90 degrees, and then turn 3, being almost 180 degrees. It just kind of invites dive bombs down the inside. So it was good to. I had a little bit of breathing room. I didn't really have to worry about somebody plowing into the side of me. So, but yeah, after that, it was just trying to keep my head down and keep up with the guys in front of me, and um, that was pretty much it. So I had a couple people spin behind me, which gave me some breathing room. So
Well, yeah, I mean that's the best part about that. I mean, it also, I mean, what a fantastic race. Able to, as long as you're able to do that, mind that first lap, reel the drama there, and then, I mean, you had some pretty strong pace even with the pro-ams. You're pumping in the same similar times. Um, I mean, you did lose one spot there to Braden Daniels at the end, but I mean, were you trying to race him really hard on that, or were you just trying to say, let's just try to get this home?
well, I was trying to give him a little bit of a fight because I know he's a super clean driver, and I could trust him. But the tires are getting worn there by the end, and I didn't want him to wash out into me or me to wash out into him. So I looked at the next person in class, who I think was Craig at the time, and he was like 6 seconds behind. I said, you know what, I'd rather get a win than this place. So I didn't fight it too hard there at the end, but he was definitely faster than me. He clawed back I think a 3 second gap.
Yeah, I mean, to let you know truly how close it was. Andrew Frank was the driver that was closest to you. He was in 22nd,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, and he was only a couple spots behind. I mean, but it was close. Anyway, thanks Tyler for joining me. Congratulations on the win, and hopefully I'll see you next time in the booth.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you everybody for joining. Dirty MF Word. Our league info is through the Discord, or you can go to the website. We do have a Broken Wing Racing League website. All the links are there on our socials. Is in the description on Twitch. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next Sunday.